Resident Evil has been a love of mine since the original launch in 1996. From the weird, stilted dialogue to the tank controls, something about it captivated me, and I've stuck with the series ever since. So when Capcom announced the Resident Evil Village demo and its release structure, I was both excited and scared at the same time. Most of this fear came from not knowing if I'd be around while the demo was available. Luckily, I was, because this was just something I couldn't wait for. Resident Evil Village plays similar to Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. You assume the role of Ethan Winters and play through the first person, allowing you to explore the area of the village and find items used to open doors and solve puzzles. This is all while you are being hunted by these lycanthrope enemies. In fact, most of the demo is just exploring the enclosed space looking for the correct items to put into the slots of a gate. This may not be the most engaging of puzzles, but from what I have played, this retains the uniqueness of the original Resident Evil. The items can be found just by exploring everything around you. These key items don't seem to be hidden or out of the way. Instead, they may be locked behind another door, teasing you behind bars. The combat in Resident Evil Village comes off as an evolved version of what we played in RE7, with the inventory management lifted straight from RE4, blending the features seamlessly. Further, the haptic feedback from the DualSense controller added weight to each shot that actually made me panic when first encountering the enemies. Speaking of the enemies, compared to the previous game, these are much more active as they are constantly moving and dodging your shots. They can add an extra layer of fear as they are borderline bullet sponges that force you to make every shot count, especially when facing off against more than one. Running became a viable option as I found myself needing to make space between the enemies and myself. Resident Evil Village provides additional options outside of shooting down everything that comes your way. While exploring, I noticed you can shoot flour to create smoke and barricade doors with shelves. This hints that avoiding enemies will be the best course of action, at least for the beginning of the game, as you find your bearings and understand your enemy. The story seems to give off a supernatural horror vibe that is much different from the biological origins at the heart of the series. The change feels fresh and not at all out of place for what the series has had in the past. This take has me invested in where the story is heading and how much it can alter now that the new elements are introduced into this universe. The cutscenes in the demo show that the writers are still in tune with the over-the-top nature of the narrative. The line delivery calls to mind many tropes of the horror genre, more specifically, what I would associate with B-movies that Resident Evil so perfectly encapsulates. While the refined mechanics for this entry are well implemented, I felt more engaged with these characters. I'm excited to go back into the village and reveal the horrors that these maidens have in store for me when Resident Evil Village launches on May 7th on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and PC.
Great ones, hear our voice, together as one in reverence. We call on thee, within the endless dark, to deliver us into fate's hands. As the midnight moon rises on black wings, so we make our sacrifice and await the light at the end. In life and in death, we give you glory, Mother Miranda.
Thank you for watching. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.